Hi guys, so today I'm going to take you through pond smart control. So I use the Kasa app and the Google Home app to control my pond electrical equipment if you want. So what I do is I use these Wi-Fi plug sockets which you can program with the apps. So before I used to use one of these with the old school digital timer if you want, and obviously the inconvenience of that one is one, if you've got multiple timers all working together, if you want, they will become out of sync eventually. It's just the way they are. They're not very accurate. So that's one benefit, and the other benefit is these are obviously sited at your pond electrical outlet, so you've got to remove covers and things like that and mess on trying to reprogram them outside, where with this technique that I use, it's all done with the app. Okay, so that's the one of the little units there, and that one actually has energy monitoring as well. So if you're concerned about your energy usage, you can actually review what sort of energy usage you're getting out of these. Right, we'll crack on with the Kasa app. So let's go back to the main screen there. You can see there we've got the bottom drain air, which is on currently. We've got the feed and air pump, the grow on radiator, which I haven't got on at the minute, because obviously the way the weather has been at the minute, I haven't programmed that one in yet. They're nice and cosy in the garage. I've got the pond light, which has got a schedule there to come on at sunset and go off at 10:30 every night. And then I've got the pond UV as well. So the UV comes on just during the day. I know a lot of people say just leave them on 100%, but I just have mine on during the day, and it works perfectly fine. And the other one at the bottom there, there's also cameras on this app, and that's the garage grow on. So I'm just going to take you through each one of these and show you how I control them. So the bottom drain air, you've got some options at the bottom. I'll not bore you too much, but basically the schedule app, or part of the app. So we've got from 3 till 5 the air's off, air supply, and then from 8 o'clock onwards every 2 hours the air supply goes off for 10 minutes. So the reason why I turn off for 2 hours between 3 till 5 is it gives the pond a chance to calm if you want, and get all those particles down to the bottom drain and get them removed, so the bottom drain stirring up everything constantly. And then from 8 till 8 p.m. at night, every 2 hours it goes off, and that's to supply, or to help should I say, when the feed and air pump comes on. It gives a chance for the koi to feed without the bottom drain air pushing all the food to the edges and causing the koi to all gather together, which I'll show you a video in a second about that. So you can see there it goes off for 10 minutes all the way up to 8 o'clock. Now go back, feed and air pump is obviously off at the minute, and the schedule ties in with the bottom drain air. So at 8 o'clock that comes on, and then it stays on for 4 minutes, and then the same every 2 hours, it stays on for 4 minutes. And again, you'll see that in the video shortly, where that pushes the food across the pond, stops it going down the skimmer line as well. Works really well. Right, so we're going to do a demo now of how the Kasa app works with my feeding system. So in a second you'll see the bottom drain air go off, and the skimmer air and the air stone underneath the feeder will come on. You can see the fish are already preparing that. You know what's going to happen. So at the minute the fish are getting fed every 2 hours from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 p.m. at night. 20 seconds. Go. And the koi feeder will kick in, should I say, any minute. I don't know if you can see on the camera there, I've had to put some bungee cords around the feeders. We'll get a cat That keeps on helping itself to the koi food, manages to get the lid off the feeder, and sits in the feeder and just tucks into some nice expensive koi food. So I've put some cords on there to stop it doing that. Right, so there's the feeder away there now. Now look at how the food, hopefully you can see on the camera, is dispersing itself across the surface of the water. And you'll notice there's 17 koi in 2,500 litres, sorry, 2,500 gallons even. And there's no crashing about. They're all feeding nice and relaxed. The mix of food what I've got in there is like a 50-50 split of floating and sinking, so again that helps break the koi up. So it's just a nice calm feeding cycle. There's plenty there for them to eat. With the air in front of the skimmer, the food doesn't go down the skimmer line. It's all neatly dispersed across the surface of the pond, and none of the koi are rushed to feed. So off the top of my head, I think this air cycle goes on for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then the air goes off, and it's another 5 or 6 minutes before the bottom drain air comes back on, all programmed by the Kasa app. And obviously the beauty of the Kasa app is that there's no getting up close to digital plugs and messing on every time you want to change a cycle. You can literally sit in the house and do it. It's so easy to use. Water quality at the minute's not great. Got quite a bit of algae on the walls of the pond, and the koi are grazing on that all the time, mucking up the water. And I cleaned the windows the other day as well, as you can see in the window cleaning video. So some of that's still floating about. But I'm reluctant to put any algae treatments in yet, because I think it's beneficial for the koi to graze naturally on the stuff that's growing on the side of the pond. So I'll just leave them to it. As long as it's not affecting the filtration, I'm happy just to leave it as it is. Right, I think that's all the food just about mopped up. There's still a little bit left in front of the shower. And again, you can probably see at the very bottom of the pond there's a large pebble, which my son likes to throw stones in the pond, which is a bit irritating, but go on, he's only 2-year-old, so I think we'll let him off for that. Just got to watch him like a hawk. Loves standing there feeding the fish, but he's also got a tendency to throw things in the pond as well. There's the last bits of food getting mopped up there. Pond light. So the good thing about this one is, as the year goes on, obviously sunset times change, and it saves you reprogramming that all the time. Every week or so, when the sunlight dies down, if you want, this automatically registers when the sunset time changes every day. So that's a really good feature, and then that goes off at 10:30 every night. What else have we got? So the pond UV. So that's straightforward. Comes on 8 o'clock in the morning, turns off at 8 o'clock at night. And then the garage grown. Turn that off, set up later. So you can see there. There's the koi in the garage grown. Ignore the beeping, that's just the flow meter. That's getting low on power. You can see that the quality is amazing for a Wi-Fi camera, so that's literally just plugged into an electrical socket and that's the quality you're getting. And that's 10 metres down the bottom of my garden to the garage. Yes, there's a Velux window in the roof, so that's going to help with the signal, but absolutely quality picture. Now the other thing I've had to do with the Wi-Fi system in the house is obviously my router's in the living room at the minute, at the front of the house. I've installed something called mesh Wi-Fi. I think it was about £130. Got it from Very on a new customer discount. And basically they're like little standalone units. So I've got 3 of them. One in the loft for me CCTV system for the house. One in one of the bedrooms. And another one, I think it's in the kitchen. And basically that makes sure that I've got good signal all the way through the house. But it's that good, it's actually extended it really well outside as well. So now I've got an amazing Wi-Fi signal outside the house. And obviously that's one of the reasons why I'm able to get such a quality picture from the bottom of the garden, from the smallest of cameras. It's amazing what sort of signal it kicks out. Really good. And obviously you can have outdoor cameras. That one's an indoor camera, and add them to the system, so all your cameras will be stored on that side and your devices there. So what I'll do is I'll give you a demo of the feeding system, and I'm also going to give you a quick snapshot of how the Google Home works. So we'll quickly go on to that one. So literally there's all the, you can tie Google Home in with the Kasa app, really simple to do, and there's all these now. So these are all now voice activated. So as you can see, this is how the bottom drain air gets turned off via the Google Home app. Hey Google, turn the bottom drain air off.
Got it. Turning off the bottom drain air.
And again, this is how it gets turned on. Hey Google, turn the bottom drain air back on.
Alright, turning the bottom drain air on.
So as you can see there, it's a bit of pointless technology if you want really, but it's quite cool, isn't it, how it works. So if you were, say, I don't know, you wanted to inspect your fish and you couldn't be bothered to go under your covers and turn off air pumps and things like that, literally all you have to do is open the app up, press the button, say turn the air off, and it turns it off. Done. So you can inspect your fish and then you can turn it back on straight after. If you were, say, selling some fish and you had a customer come over or whatever, or someone, a buyer was going to come over and purchase one of your fish again, instead of going through and opening covers and turning things off and getting things mixed up, just again on your phone, press the button and away you go again. So you can see the fish clearly. Okay. So I hope that's been useful. Hopefully you'll be able to use some of this technology. I know some of the old school will be like, what the hell is he doing? Go back to the old school way of doing things, but go on, I think it's good to embrace this type of technology, and if it's working for us koi keepers, then great. Right guys, I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye now.